Welcome viewers and subscribers. Remember to like the video and also hit the subscribe button. Geopolitical tensions across the world have significantly impacted the cost of living in Jamaica. However, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the nation's economy continues to perform well. Speaking during an interview with Bloomberg's emerging markets correspondent, Mr. Holness noted that despite COVID and other shocks, Jamaica has managed to keep its debt, inflation and unemployment down.
We have seen geopolitical tensions around the world leading to risk-off sentiment in developing economies. We have seen a jump in oil prices as well. What impact is all of this having on Jamaica?
The impact is significant, primarily in cost of living and inflation. And I suspect, like many other countries around the world, it has led to the frustration of the electorate, even disillusionment. But Jamaica's performance is quite counterintuitive and runs counter to what is happening in the rest of the world. We immediately after the pandemic, our debt rose, but then we managed to bring it back down. Our inflation went up to as high as 11%. I'm happy to say that the last outturn, we're at 5.8. We're within our target band. And for me, the most impressive figure is that our unemployment rate is now at 4.5%. Now, relative to global unemployment rates in other economies, 4.5% may not sound as low as it should be, but relative to what it was, 7 as high as 15% times gone by, at 4.5%, we're almost at full employment.
Mr. Holness noted further that government continues with several strategic initiatives to bolster growth and reduce Jamaica's debt.
We are being very strategic with our debt. We have a target figure as to what our debt to GDP should look like. But, growing the economy reduces your debt ratio. So the more fiscal space we create, the more projects we can support without debt, the more growth we can generate. But the secret to growth, it's not just the access to financing or borrowing for growth. There's a significant element of developing human resources because the new industries and enterprises that will come into the economy will rely heavily on the upskilling of our labor force. So we're spending quite a bit of time and effort now in trying to upskill and ensure that we have a labor force that can meet the jobs of the future.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, he added that the government is making investments in logistics, business process outsourcing, and the development of financial technology. 3 teenaged boys accused of raping a female student at a Kingston high school earlier this month have been slapped with several charges. The boys, aged 14 and 15 years old, have been charged with rape, forcible abduction, and grievous sexual assault. Reports are that about 1:30 p.m. on Monday, October 2, the female student was forced into a classroom where she was sexually assaulted by the teens. A report was made to the police and an investigation was launched. The boys were charged following a question and answer session. The matter is before the court. Chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party, Robert Montague, said the party is committed to a violence-free election campaign. He stated that the JLP is a party in government, and members and supporters should conduct themselves accordingly. Mr. Montague added that he has contacted the chairman of the People's National Party, and there is commitment to a violence-free campaign. He said the party is prepared for local and general elections. Local government elections are expected by next February.
In the coming campaign, we don't want nobody cuss nobody, fling stone after nobody, or do any disrespect nobody. We are the party in government and looking at third term, so we have to conduct ourselves with maturity as labor rights. We cannot let down the Prime Minister because the Jamaica Labour Party believe that no Jamaican must be injured over politics. The injury or death of a Jamaican over politics, we condemn it We don't want it, and we are going to do what we have to do to make sure it don't happen in this campaign.
JLP Chairman Robert Montague. He told supporters there is no safe seat and urged party workers to seek out everyone when campaigning. Opposition leader Mark Golding has chastised the government for granting the recent fare increase to public transport operators. Speaking at a People's National Party PNP candidate presentation ceremony in Highgate, St. Mary on Sunday, Mr. Golding said school children and their parents are suffering because of the increase. The 35% increase will be applied in 2 phases. On Sunday, October 15, a 19% increase was effected. The second phase, a further increase of 16%, will take effect in April 2024. Mr. Golding said while transport operators undoubtedly needed an increase, the government could have cushioned the impact on citizens.
We have a government after 2 years of wicked inflation coming out of COVID. What them do? Then raise up the taxi and bus fare on the people. Now we know that the transport operators need an increase. But a government looking at a situation like this would have to find a way to cushion that crisis from the people. Right now, in rural Jamaica, too much school youth are suffer and their parents are suffer because they can't afford to send them children to school.
The opposition leader suggested several measures that he said the government could implement to ease the burden on citizens.
Why do they not remove the hedge fund tax and use that to subsidize rural public transportation? Why don't they cap the SCT tax on fuel and use the surplus to protect the consumer, the commuter, the person using public transport? This government is not thinking creatively in the interest of the people. They are too willing to unleash separation on the people, and that is why the people want to see change. The People's National Party has a proud record, and they want to stop telling lies to the people about the People's National Party. Stop it!
A Clarendon motorist is to return to court on December 4 in relation to the death of a 5-year-old boy. 33-year-old William Bell of Bunkers Hill was charged with causing death by dangerous driving. He turned himself into the police last Tuesday, October 17. Reports are that at about 3:30 p.m. on Wednesday, October 11, Damaris Davey of Bunkers Hill was hit by a Toyota Probox motor car that was being driven by Bell. He fled the scene after the accident. The 5-year-old was pronounced dead at hospital. Bell appeared before the Lioneltown Parish Court on Friday and was offered bail in the sum of $1 million. A St. Elizabeth man was charged for larceny and housebreaking after he broke into a supermarket on October 15. Charged is Dwayne Atkinson, otherwise called Blacks, a 29-year-old construction worker of Newtown in Black River. According to head of the St. Elizabeth Police, Coleridge Minto, footage from surveillance cameras helped with the investigation.
On the 15th of October, at approximately 2 a.m., assisted by our surveillance cameras through the Jamaica Eye, 4 men were seen in the vicinity of a business establishment in the Black River town center. The patrol team was alerted, and on arrival at the location, the men ran in separate directions. Police gave chase and held one man who was subsequently charged for the offense of larceny and housebreaking. He's Dwayne Atkinson O.C. Blacks, 29-year-old construction worker of a Newtown address.
After inspecting the establishment, the police realized that entry was gained through a window. The stolen items were recovered and identified by the owner. DSP Minter said 2 men who they believe are linked to the incident are in custody.
Subsequent investigations led to the arrest of 2 other suspects believed to be involved in this larceny and housebreaking. The items that were removed have since been returned to the owner, and the investigations are still ongoing at this time.
Acting head of the St. Elizabeth Police, Deputy Superintendent Coleridge Minto. Several individuals were taken to hospital for complications related to smoke inhalation following a fire at the Central Sorting Office on South Camp Road in Kingston today. At the same time, Deputy Postmaster General Kerry Brown says nothing of value was destroyed in the blaze. Natalie Campbell reports.
Mr. Brown said operations at the facility were suspended for the day and members of staff and other persons occupying the building were evacuated. Several individuals were also taken to hospital for complications related to smoke inhalation. Mr. Brown told JIS News that quick action by employees who raised the alarm and the Jamaica Fire Brigade enabled the fire to be extinguished quickly. He said sparks from the fire, which started on the outside of the office, ignited flammable material inside a storage room in the building. According to Mr. Brown, the fire was contained to the room and staff was able to contain it until the arrival of the brigade. As such, he noted that nothing of value was destroyed. Minister responsible for digital transformation, Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, who visited the scene, said that there was no damage to the NIDS card center, which is housed at the facility, and the office's general areas. She said the Postmaster General related that team will be raring to go tomorrow, and it will be business as usual as much as possible.
The Independent Jamaica Agricultural Society Electoral Review Committee is expected to present its findings and recommendations to the Agriculture Ministry in November. The recommendations are intended to address some long-standing issues surrounding the conduct of the annual general meeting and election processes of the JAS. Fiona Daniels reports.
During a meeting with Agriculture Minister Floyd Green last Friday, the committee, chaired by Deputy Director of Elections Earl Simpson, updated the minister on the status of deliberations. The committee reaffirmed its commitment to the task at hand, emphasizing the importance of a fair, transparent, and efficient process for JAS elections. It has embarked on a mission to streamline the processes and procedures involved in the JAS, AGM, and election, with the ultimate goal of ensuring a seamless transition of leadership within the organization. The JAS plays a pivotal role in Jamaica's agricultural sector, impacting the livelihoods of countless farmers and stakeholders across the nation. The meeting also allowed for a discussion on the way forward and outlining the schedule for completion of the review. Mr. Green expressed satisfaction with the committee's dedication, adding that the JAS is a cornerstone of Jamaica's agricultural sector, so the government is committed to ensuring that the JAS operates at the highest level of integrity and efficiency. He said the work of the committee is a crucial step in that direction. Moving forward, the committee will enter a phase of engagement with critical stakeholders within the JAS. The committee's efforts will seek to strengthen the JAS and benefit the entire agricultural community in Jamaica.
Culture Minister Olivia Grange says government is working to ensure that more members of the Rastafari community benefit from the cannabis industry. Ms. Grange says the government is redrawing the Alternative Development Program to assist original farmers to gain full access to the new industry. She explains that the previous execution of the program failed. Therefore, an improved version was needed.
Tried introducing the Alternative Development Program, the ADP, to see if it could be a way of assisting the original farmers to gain full access to the new industry. It didn't quite work. In response, we have prepared a new plan that we refer to as the ADP 2.0 that will soon be rolled out. You're going to be hearing much more about that program. We hope that this will be a better way for the formerly illicit farmers, primarily Rastafari, to be part of the legal industry. We're really pushing and hoping that that new program will work.
Minister of Culture Olivia Grange. She commended the Ministry of Justice for putting forward amendments to the law to allow for the growing of ganja in 57 sacramental spaces.
If you enjoy the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with our latest videos.